What is up, everybody? Fantasy Endgame. We're back live. Feel like it's been forever. Uh, you know what? It's not fantasy football season anymore, although it is if you're on Underdog because every day there's something going on. And this week, as you know, playoffs. So it's playoff best ball time. That's right. The gauntlet returns and the mitten returns, but it's gone because the little mitten already filled up. The big mitten is still there, as you can see. But we're going to go with the gauntlet. Of course, Chris being a Thanos and an Avengers fan, right? We got to fit the theme.
Right.
That's the reason. No.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the gauntlet because 50K to first. I think one of us can nail it. We can take it down. This is a $25 entry. If you want to go bigger, you can go with a big mitten. It's 250, but we're going to show you how we draft playoff best ball. Maybe some of y'all want to try to jump into. Last week we had with JR jumped in with us, right? Was drafting with us. But if not, show you how to do it. And if you know it, even if you don't have an Underdog account, then you can just watch this draft and see how it goes. Now, if you don't have an Underdog account, it's a good time to get one because you got all this playoff best ball action you can get in on. We're going to do one that's playoff, meaning rest of playoffs, right? We're drafting this one, the gauntlet, the mitten. We're drafting a team that's going to try to win the tournament from now until the playoffs end. They had this before the playoffs started, right? Last week, and we did a mitten. And now we're going to do another one now that we know which teams have advanced. So, yeah, all those teams where you drafted, maybe Cowboys, not really in play anymore. So we're going to go with the gauntlet. It's back, and we'll explain what it is, how it works, and then we're going to draft a team right here, right now. If you don't have an Underdog account, let me tell you, it's still a good time because all the things we've been talking about during the season still in play. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100 just for signing up, and they still have new customer specials, even though it's just a playoffs. Well, all you need is one. You got Lamar Jackson just gaining 1 yard. That's right. It's a free pick 'em. You like the pick 'ems. They're still live throughout the playoffs. So Lamar Jackson, go higher than 0.5 total yards. That's if you're new and you sign up. Use promo code ENDGAME. You get this new special, and you get the deposit match, among other things. So there you go. Check it out. So let's break down what the gauntlet is, and I've got the rules up there. So first of all, live draft, 30-second clock. No deliberating here.
No. Very little. You gotta be ready to make your pick when it's coming up to your turn for sure. You gotta be thinking ahead in this draft.
Now that said, we'll get to the details here. Actually, let's get to the details first, and we're gonna have it up. I'll talk about strategy in a second before we enter here. This is a tournament, like I said, from now until the end of the playoffs. So there's 3 rounds. We got 3 more weeks of playoffs, including the Super Bowl. This is a 6-team draft, 10 rounds, 30-second clock. All right, so you're gonna draft a team with 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 flex, and then 2 wide receivers / tight end. This is right up your alley. You don't have to draft a tight end if you don't want to, but there are some good tight ends still left in play, but tight end optional.
Yep, I like that. I like tight end optional.
5 bench, and those bench can be anything. Now, as far as bench, I'm going to ask you this. Is this a strategy? There's only 8 teams left in the playoffs.
Right.
There's 6 quarterbacks. Any entertaining the idea of drafting a backup quarterback, or you just got to ride with the guy you got?
I think you got to ride with the guy you got. I think you limit yourself too much at the upside at the other positions. I mean, look, really, it's going to come down to how much exposure do you have to the Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
Because the goal, of course, is that you advance to the final round, you make it to the Super Bowl, and you want as much exposure to those 2 teams as you can possibly have. You're not going to be able to stack, everybody, but I think if you end up drafting 2 quarterbacks, you're just going to have a wasted position. I mean, unless somehow you draft both quarterbacks that make the Super Bowl, which I guess is possible. But like you said, there's only 8 quarterbacks left, and it's a 6-man draft. I'm probably just going to go with 1.
Yeah. At this point, like if you draft the wrong quarterback, you're probably not winning anyways.
Right.
I did think that was viable last week because there were a lot more quarterbacks in play. But yeah, this week I think you just got to pick. So again, you're trying to pick the team you think is going to go the farthest. Although I will say this, you can have guys like, for example, like Dak Prescott last week. Cowboys are out, but he put up a big point total because of garbage time because it got blown out. He put up a big point total in 1 week. Now, quarterback's not a position you want 1 week and out, but maybe a running back or a flex or some random player that has a big week could still boost you if he has that one big week, even if that team doesn't go to the Super Bowl. So it's not like you could only, I think it's going to be the Ravens Niners. I'm only going to pick Ravens Niners. Like, no, you're not going to take Rashad Bateman over a guy like, Amon-Ra St. Brown just because you think that one team's going farther. So there are layers here. All right. So we're going to get into it. We're going to try to join the exact same draft. I'm pretty sure we can make it happen. Ready?
I'm ready. Do the countdown.
Right. 3, 2, enter the gauntlet. And there's only 6 teams. So again, chances of getting the same league, we really do have to time this at the same time. All right. 2 people left. Is that what you see?
Yep. I see 2 people left. I'm guessing we're in the same one.
All right. Here we go. So, and again, if you're watching this back, maybe it's not live here. Get it. It's Friday night. You all have plans and things. But if you're watching this back, the gauntlet should still be open till Saturday, at least morning, if not afternoon. In fact, it probably says on here with the close time. They usually have very specific close times. Closes at 4 p.m., 3:59 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, right before the games are going to start. So you still have time. From right now, we're streaming here. You got almost 24 hours. You can get in this even if you're not watching this live.
All right, here we go. And the 6th spot.
Well, the 6th spot, normally not too bad, but you're at the end. You got the turn, though.
True.
All right. We got 45 seconds till the draft starts. So to reveal to probably the other people in this draft aren't watching this, right? Are you thinking nab an elite quarterback first? Are you prioritizing running back because you only need one? There's very few running backs. Or are you just taking best available or what?
Yeah, I'm just going best available. I think, it would be nice to lock down a quarterback, but I don't know if, like you see right there by the ADP, the first 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5 picks. I don't know. Like, I'm probably going to have, because obviously the quarterbacks for the teams that have the best chance to make the Super Bowl are going to go early. So I'm probably going to end up with like a quarterback on a team, like an outside shot type of team as my QB at the 6.
Yeah, at 6, probably not going to get one of the top QBs. I'm curious. Oh, there we go. That answers that question. Number 1, Lamar off the board. That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, because again, it's not just about like, oh, Lamar, best QB. Because let's be real, like Josh Allen's the best QB for fantasy. It's about which QBs are going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
Right. Exactly.
Again,
there's multiple games. And I don't know. It's going to come down, I would think. All right. Predictable. There goes CMC. All right. I'm on the clock just like that. I mean, I would say I think the Niners are probably the team in the NFC, but am I really want to draft Brock Purdy here? I don't think I do. Do I know who's going to win Buffalo, KC? Do I know who I'm drafting?
Debo. All right.
I'm going with, I think, the next best player from the team that's probably going to go the farthest. So there you go. And that's what makes it tough. You really don't know. You'd think, well, KC in normal years, but this year I could see KC losing this weekend.
I could definitely see KC losing this weekend, but I mean, I could also see the Bills losing this weekend.
Yeah. I'm not assuming they'll lose. I think it can go either way, but I don't feel comfortable enough to say I'm going to go Mahomes or I'm going to go Allen. It's too early. Someone went Allen before.
Well, I am. I'm gonna get really spicy here.
You're gonna stack it up.
I'm gonna go Mahomes, and I'm not gonna go with Kelsey. I'm gonna go Mahomes and Rashee Rice here.
Hey, it used to be Mahomes and Kelsey with the stack, and now this year, even in the playoffs, we're seeing it's Rice. I mean, that's what I would do. But
And then I'm just gonna hope that the Chiefs use that experience and find a way to get into the Super Bowl.
makes sense there. And I'll tell you, it's better. You almost feel better because you had your choice made for you because all the other top 3 quarterbacks were gone, and Mahomes sitting there at 6. That's exactly what I would have done. So now, well, there you go. Well, I'm gonna go with the Chief also. Get my running back.
There you go.
How many running backs do you actually feel good about that are on the board right now?
To be honest, I haven't even looked. Yeah.
Not a lot. Yeah, I'm almost surprised CMC wasn't the number 1 overall pick, but I get it, getting that quarterback. I was hoping I could get Zay on the way back.
It's pretty good for the one spot getting the Lamar Zay stack there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Has every 49er been drafted? Pretty much every 49er's gone already, huh?
At
Debo,
this point,
CMC, Ayuk, Kittle, Purdy.
Yeah, at this point, it is. Who do I even want? Nope. Okay, I'm getting desperate here. I'm flexing running back, I guess.
All right. I was hoping Gibbs would make it back to me.
Curious to see how much longer Kelsey lasts on the board because no one wants to take him.
I mean, I'll gladly I'll stack up these Chiefs.
Well, all right, there you go. You got all 3.
And then I think I'm gonna get man. I'm gonna bank on the Lions getting to the getting past the Bucks this week, and I can at least get 2 games out of Monty.
Makes sense. Like, I'm not surprised to see him get a little more run than Gibbs because it's playoff time, the experience. Man, this has been tougher than I expected it to be.
It is tough. I mean, there's not a lot of options. And you also have to think it's not just draft, right? It's not just draft the best guys. It's like draft the best guys, but who's actually still going to be playing next week? And then, of course, in the Super Bowl in a few weeks, like who do you think is still going to be playing? And the other thing you don't want to do, like for me, I'm pretty much all in on the Chiefs. So I don't want to like now take Ravens players or Bills players. Because it's like, okay, like if I expect the Chiefs to win this, if I'm going to bet on the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, then I'm better off taking NFC players and hoping like that team makes it, right? Like Lions players or
exactly. Because you have 5 bench, you can, and you almost have to, at least at some point, take some guys on opposing teams, but it makes more sense to limit your exposure to that and go with a different conference. You're right, especially if you're so heavily on one team like you are right now.
Yeah, because this is the type of tournament like the money comes when you make it. If you make it to the final round, right? That's where the real money.
Right. Yeah. Not just winning your money back.
Right. So the hope here is like, okay, the hope is the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, and then I can just stack a bunch of people from the NFC and hope, obviously they'll play somebody from the NFC. And if they don't, then I lose and it's okay. Because that's kind of like, that's how this tournament works, right?
Exactly. Right. Let's see now. This guy keeps timing out.
Got the Stroud and Nico stack. That's pretty good late. If the Texans somehow make the Super Bowl.
Somehow. Yeah. I'm not expecting them to win. I think I'm actually just staying away from Texans in this draft. I'll tell you what, right now I have more confidence in the Ravens than I do in the Niners. I mean,
I don't expect the Bucs to go to the Super Bowl, but I'll still happily take Mike Evans here.
Yeah. I wasn't on Evans last week. I thought he would have a huge game, and it wasn't huge, but never a bad pick.
And then I'm going to stack some Lions. No, I'm not a Jameson fan.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, that's the other thing, honestly. It feels awkward to do it, but you kind of have to zig a little bit when everyone's zagging. You have to have some differentiation. You can't just go highest ADP. There's going to be players that have big games that nobody expects. It's going to happen.
Well, the hope here is that somehow the Lions shock the world and make the Super Bowl. And then I have David Montgomery and Jameson Williams, and maybe Jameson Williams catches a huge touchdown in the Super Bowl or something, right? Again, it's all about that week. It's all about the Super Bowl week. I mean, you don't want to completely ignore the other weeks, but it's all about the Super Bowl week, right? And obviously I'm not, the 49ers players are gone. I mean, unless you're going to grab Juwan Jennings or something in hope, or Ronnie Bell, or something like that.
Yeah, that's a little too different. All right, well, I guess I'm going with the Jordan Love, Romeo Dobbs stack.
I mean, grabbing Packers not a bad play. I mean, if they upset the 49ers this week, their path to the Super Bowl is pretty easy. The Bucs or the Lions.
Hey, what I do is everyone's going for the players on the top teams, but go with the hot team. They're pretty much the hottest there is right now.
I almost kind of regret, because I almost took Aaron Jones over Monty.
Yeah, I was looking at Rachaad White there, but okay, here we go. Don't even bother. Let me save you some time. Don't even bother looking at running back.
Well, I mean, you need some.
Yeah, needs somebody, but oh, never mind. I was gonna consider being sneaky with Jerick McKinnon, but he's not even going to play.
Oh, did Josh Reynolds just get picked? All right,
He
well.
did. That's where we're at.
All right, well, I am going to take a Chiefs running back.
There you go. Better you than me.
And in case the Packers somehow miss it, at least I have a bring back there for Green Bay.
Nice. I like that pick. All right, we're round 8. Still have 3 more players to pick, believe it or
not. Yeah.
I'm not sure how this happened, but I'm scrolling down and looking, and somehow I see D.D. Westbrook's name.
I mean, you got to put anybody who's on a roster right now has got to be here.
Pretty much. All right, well, here we go. Taking the tight ends. Yeah, everybody's fair game at this point.
Yeah. Again, it's best ball, so they have a chance. They have a chance to hit a huge play. They're worth it.
Yeah. No, definitely. Robert Woods.
Hey, I mean, who is even left for the Texans? Like, it's amazing how beat up that wide receiver group is.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, this guy's going to time out again. I feel like this is the first time in my life I can say I think I was just sniped on Nelson Aguilar.
Oof.
Yeah. Doesn't feel good. All right, well, I'm going to just continue down my path because I really don't like anybody else here. I'm just going to go on the Packers.
I was hoping Wicks would make it back to me. I'd like some Packers, a little more Packers exposure.
Yeah, no, I'm taking them all. Well, you have Watson, right? Didn't you get Watson?
I mean, I got Watson, but
there goes MVS.
Oh, that was the other guy I was thinking of here. So, okay. Man, McCall Hardman looks so bad.
Yeah, Sky Moore's supposedly coming back.
Not this week.
Well, eventually. He was activated, right? Wasn't he activated?
I'm going to get a 49er. And I'm going to get a Packer. I want another Packer.
That's nice. That's a nice last round pick there.
Well, now I have exposure to. I basically have exposure to all the NFC teams to go with the Chiefs, although I only have Juwan Jennings for the 49ers. But I got some decent Packers exposure. I got Mike Evans if somehow the Bucks make it. I got Lions exposure. I got plenty of Chiefs exposure. So,
believe it or not, I just got sniped on Ty Johnson too. I actually had him queued up next.
Well, there's not a lot of guys that you can really feel like are on the field enough to be worth it.
That's borderline insane. All right. Well, there we go. So random Chiefs receiver it is.
Hey, you never know.
All I thought about
So I
Latavius
guess I'm
Murray.
rooting for the Chiefs tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah, apparently I'm rooting for the Packers now. Look, I think if there's a narrative, my thought here, not that I went in thinking this, like this is what I'm going to do. If you're going to win a tournament like this, it's not by getting the CMC Lamar Jackson, right? It's not that. It's going to be a team goes from the wild card to the Super Bowl, right? Makes a surprise run, and you got some sort of exposure, like heavy exposure there. So if there's a team that does that, like I said, if there's a team that doing, I'm not putting money down on the Packers, but I'm just saying if there's a team, that's the team that I would go on. So we'll see. But anyways, here's how the draft wound up. We'll do a quick breakdown here. I got to break down everyone's team. This is not just endgame viewers, by the way. This is us and whoever's in this draft. So team 1 did what I would have done, Lamar Jackson. If you had the 1-1, would you have taken Lamar or CMC or someone else?
I'd probably go Lamar. Get that Raven stack just like he did. He got Lamar, Zay Flowers, Odell, Justice Hill, Andrews, Bateman. I mean, got pretty much even got Dalvin Cook, Nelson Aguilar. I mean, he's literally got every Raven player except he got Odell. I mean, his only non-Ravens are George Kittle and Tucker Kraft. Wow.
Okay. Well, I think that's a little too Raven. I get the thought process of going in on a team you think is going all the way, but are you really taking, okay, for example, Justice Hill over those other guys who went in round 5? I think I'd rather have one of those receivers or somebody who could have a big game. Okay, fine, maybe Justice Hill is the lead back, whatever. Are you taking Rashad Bateman over, Chris Godwin? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, hey, if the Ravens make the Super Bowl, he's guaranteed, whoever goes off for the Ravens, he's guaranteed to have them.
Unless it's Gus Edwards scoring 3 touchdowns.
That's true. He did not get Gus Edwards, so
I think you're just limiting your upside by getting all in on one team. Even if that one team does go to the Super Bowl, you're only getting scores from that one team, and you're assuming that one team. It's not whether they win or lose; they could win at 10-7. You know what I mean? Right. So you're counting on the Ravens putting up a lot of points. So I don't know. To me, that's a little too much, but we'll see. All right, team 2, CMC, Smart, Diggs, Nico, Singletary, Stroud, Rashad White, Godwin. Got some Texans on there. I'm not feeling great about the Texans. Got Robert Woods and John Mechie and Dameon Pierce. That's not the team I would want exposure to, but
yeah, but you got to do what you got to do when you miss out on all the QBs. But yeah, I agree. That's not I would have rather have probably gambled on Jared Goff and Detroit.
Right, but look, who am I to say? If I'm saying, hey, I feel like the Packers might be that surprise team.
Sure.
The Texans might be that surprise team. Could be totally wrong there. What if the Texans beat the Ravens? That means team 2 is outscoring team 1.
It's football. Anything can happen.
All right. I own Debo. I took Pacheco and Cook. I feel like that might have been a mistake getting both running backs in the same game, because even though I feel like I know one of them will definitely go at least to the conference championship, and I feel has a good chance to get to the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's my one regret. You think probably I should have gone with a running back from another team?
Yeah, probably. Or just waited on running back maybe after you took Pacheco.
Yeah, there really wasn't many receivers that I liked at that point. I would have taken Zay Flowers, but I was sniped on him, and I was like, Kelsey, nah. And then I guess I'm in on the Packers, possibly Love, Dobbs, Wicks, and of course it'll probably be your guy Watson who goes off.
Maybe, but yeah, again, if the Packers can beat, I guess it's the same thing for the Texans, right? If they can somehow beat the 49ers this week, Texans somehow beat the Ravens, the path to the Super Bowl gets much easier. Although I would say the path is much easier for the Packers than the Texans, because the Texans would still have to, beat the Bills or the Chiefs, which is no easy task.
Yeah, exactly. Ravens could have a bad game, possibly lay down, but are they going to beat the Chiefs or the Bills? I mean, who knows? If they're that team, if Stroud is that guy, he's that guy. I will say also another sneaky strategy. A lot of times, like you're like, I don't have to draft a tight end. Tight ends will score and put up points sometimes too. And so instead of getting like the third, fourth string receiver on a team, go with a tight end. So I did grab a couple, but also partly because I didn't like the receivers left there. Team 4 went with Josh Allen, Sun God, Gibbs, Kincaid, Laporta. This team is Team Lions. Is this kind of like how it is in these drafts at 6 minutes? Like you kind of pick a team and go with them? It doesn't have to be that way, but
I mean, it kind of does because it doesn't have to be that way. But again, like it's all about that It's all about that last round. So if you get to that last round and you only have, let's just say it's the 49ers and the Ravens, and you only have one Raven and no 49ers, you're not advanced. You know what I mean?
You're not catching.
Yeah, you're not making any real money. So I think what I find interesting here is that though that he started with Josh Allen, didn't stack Diggs with Allen or anything, but then ended up stacking Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Laporta, and Goff. So he ended up getting the Lions stack even after starting with Josh Allen, which is interesting.
And did the 2 QB thing, which we talked about before the draft. Look, that's fine because, again, you could think, well, look at my last 2-3 picks. Those guys might want to do nothing. Okay, fine. If he has both quarterbacks that are in the Super Bowl, somehow it's Bills Lions, you're still only starting one, though. That's the thing. You can only, it's not super flex. You can only start one quarterback. So, yeah, but we'll see. At the very least, I guess you're hedging your bet if the Bills lose this weekend and if the Lions win. All right.
Sure.
So team 1 is Team Ravens. Team 2 is Team Texans. Team 3 is me. I'm Team Packers, sort of. Team 4 is pretty much Team Lions. You are Team Chiefs. Let's see what Team 5 is. Well, this team is actually kind of balanced.
Yeah, I got the nice Purdy Ayuk stack, but then didn't really, got Juszczyk at the end, but didn't really get any more 49ers, which makes sense because they were all gone pretty much. But I'm surprised didn't try to take some shots on like Juwan Jennings later on in the draft or Elijah Mitchell, just in case, not that they have CMC, but in case something happens to CMC. I'm surprised by that. So, and also another thing, like I'll say, like a lot of NFC teams, like a lot of NFC guys here, Aaron Jones, Jaden Reed, Josh Reynolds, Baker Mayfield. Like, if the 49ers come out of this thing, he's not really, I guess he's got a couple Ravens, but that's about it. So, he's got
but not high-end Ravens. You're talking Isaiah Likely, who, if Mark Andrews comes back next week, Likely's almost worthless. So, yeah, I agree. Limiting the upside a little bit. Look, you're taking Brock Purdy. It's not because you feel like Brock Purdy in the playoffs is going to put up a huge game. It's because you feel like he's going to play 3 games. Right. And if you feel like that, then you probably want more Niners. I get it. Most of the good Niners were gone. But like you said, why take then Baker Mayfield as a second quarterback? You're probably not going to have Baker Mayfield for 3 games. You might as well take, like you said, a Juwan Jennings or Elijah Mitchell would have made a lot of sense. But easy for me to say. All right. And now it's time for Team 6. You went Mahomes, Rice, and then Kelsey. Hey, I don't hate that at all. Monty, you say you're kind of regretting the Monty pick? Or
yeah, I kind of wish I would have taken Aaron Jones over Monty. I don't know. I say that now, but if the Lions win and the Packers lose, I'm going to be very grateful that I took Monty. But again, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I got more, but I got Christian Watson and Luke Musgrave later for the Packers. Maybe Evans. I just felt like Evans had too much upside to not take him there. Maybe that's the pick I kind of regret because it's like, okay, are the Bucs really going to be playing in the Super Bowl? Probably not, but I just felt like it was too much upside for Evans in that round to not take him.
Yeah, he fell for sure. Like I was all in on Evans last week, didn't come up with a huge game. But yeah, I agree. I think that's the best upside pick you had there. I regret not taking Watson before you did because I might as well, right? I might as well have just gone in on that stack. Then I got Wicks on the way back, so I'm okay with that, but still. See how that turns out. All right. That's the gauntlet. So it has been thrown down. See if one of us or somebody from this league, hey, anybody's in it, you never know. See if somebody takes home the big prize. If you missed it, no, this is what's up, JR? Was with us last week. Not Sunday only. This is the gauntlet. This is going for the rest of the playoffs. So this is a team not just for this weekend. It's best ball postseason starting this weekend. So there it is. If you guys haven't tried it yet, $25 entry potential. If you win it all, $50K total of 500,000 in prizes. So even if you don't win it all, you still have a good chance to take home something. So there it is. The gauntlet returns. You still got, like I said, almost 24 hours if you want to check it out, try it in. And there's also the big mitten, which you're a high roller, you bringing home some winnings. You can go in on the big mitten, which is the exact same format. It's just $250 for your entry, but of course the prize pool also expands, so you can check that out. And there's also NBA going on. You guys are into NBA crossover, all those others, and in baseball, anybody who is a baseball fan, just actually it's coming out tomorrow. I'm breaking down my first MLB best ball draft and the results of that. And then just as I finished that one up, now they have brand new contests that just opened up, I think yesterday. The Dinger, which I'm actually in the middle of one right now. It's a slow draft. And so you can get in on that. $10 easy. You know, you're like, I'm a casual baseball fan. I don't really, come on, $10. There's another one that's the bunt, I think it is.
What's a bunt? $3.
Bunt. $3. Come on, $3. You can close your eyes and pick names and guess, and you still have a chance to win. Just try it out. Help you learn a little bit about the names of baseball. But I'll be posting some of those. I'll probably hopefully do a live draft of the Dinger pretty soon. But check out the video on how to do MLB best ball coming out tomorrow. So there you go. We have to also give a shout out to our guys. Python. Yep. Barely missed it. It's okay. It's a 6-man draft. It's probably hard to us to all get in the same one.
Right.
Ready for the game this weekend, hoping the Texans-Lions go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right. Well, is Detroit your team? Like, I know Washington is technically your team. Miami was my team. So out of the teams who are in it now, who's the team you're rooting for?
I don't know.
Nobody?
Like, it would be cool. I mean, I feel like it would be nice that the Bills finally made it and maybe won a Super Bowl.
The Bills? No.
Yeah, because I mean, remember back with Kelly. I don't know why I'm calling him Josh Kelly. That's not who. He's not the running back for the Chargers. Jim Kelly, and Thurman Thomas and them, right? 4 straight years not winning the Super Bowl. That's brutal. I don't know. But really, there's no team I look at right now and think like, oh, I hope they don't win.
Well, I think a lot of people are like sympathetic Lions fans because they've never won anything, and it's been so long, and they've had so many great players who never won. I get it. I like Dan Campbell. I like the players on that team. I got nothing against them. So I'm fine with Lions winning, but I'm not like pulling for them. I'm not really pulling for any of those teams. I kind of have always liked the Ravens as a team and organization. I like Lamar Jackson, like Zay Flowers. I loved him before the season. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Ravens go all the way. But really at this point, I'm kind of like anybody except Buffalo. That's just me.
Well, yeah, you're a Miami fan, so.
I don't know anybody. We got like a huge crowd here. Everybody likes Tosh. Have you ever watched Tosh 2.0?
Like a long time ago.
Well, he's from Miami. He's a Dolphins fan. I just saw something on, I don't know if it was Instagram or Twitter. I don't know, one of those things. And he gave a little rant about about the Bills, and it was pretty funny. Anyways.
Well, your own player, I forget who it was, posted on his Instagram that he wants the Bills to beat the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, because the Chiefs beat the Dolphins. I mean, that's not how it's supposed to work, though. You're supposed to root for the team that beat you to prove that they were better. But anyways.
Right, and you're not supposed to be like cheering on your division rival.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody but Buffalo for me.
And the only reason the Dolphins lost to the Chiefs because the Bills beat the Dolphins in the last game of the season.
Exactly. Yes, and twice.
Somebody needs to talk to that player and be like, dude, this is not how it works. This is not how it works.
Yeah, he can root for whoever he wants, though. All right, so there you go. What's up, Birdman is also in the house, giving the blessings. Appreciate that. And Spearsy, what's up, Spearsy?
What's up, Spearsy? Nice job. Well done. Yeah. Do it. We'll do it again next year.
There you go. Exactly. Python says rooting for Detroit because of Dan Campbell. Yeah, it would definitely mean a lot for that city. If you want a fan base to feel bad for her, I agree.
For sure.
This is a good motivation there. Root for the players you had on your team this year. I actually kind of do that sometimes, but
the problem is though I had Rashad White, I had Jahmyr Gibbs, I had James Cook, I had Rashee Rice. It's like I gotta root for everybody. It's a problem when you're in so many leagues.
Exactly. When you're in like 15 leagues, like is there a player on any of these teams that I didn't have in somewhere at some point in some league? Probably not. Flacco's going Lions since the Steelers got demolished. All right, it's close enough, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's do this. Got an actual question. Talk Dynasty. So we're going to put him out. We have been putting out a little bit of Dynasty content already. Dylan Manning. Where do you think Marvin Harrison goes in full PPR, not Dynasty? And we know in the rookie draft, if it's not super flex, he's probably the 1-1. And in the super flex, he's still a top 5 pick. But in regular redraft leagues,
if he it depends where he gets drafted to. If the Cardinals take him at 4, like a lot of people think, I think he's a second rounder. Because he's instantly, because then you got to think, okay, Hollywood Brown's probably not coming back. He's instantly the number 1 receiver there. He's got Kyler Murray. I mean, we could see, something similar to what Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase did year 1. If he goes to like Tennessee with the 7th, I'm just like throwing out. I know it doesn't really make sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but like if he goes to Tennessee at 7, let's just say, or like a bad spot like that. I mean, I don't remember the whole draft order by heart. Let me see. I know Tennessee has 7. So let's say he goes, if he goes to Tennessee at 7, if he goes to, I don't know, the Broncos at 12 somehow. I don't know if that would happen. Just throwing out spots that aren't great. Then I don't know, maybe like a 5th rounder type of pick. Be my guess.
What I could see happening is because Chicago got the number 1 pick and everyone's just assuming they're going to take Caleb Williams, right? They could, and I think maybe should, get a king's ransom from some team desperate for a number 1 quarterback, right? And then they move down a couple of spots and they still have the number 9 pick, and they collect a bunch of future firsts, right? They basically do again like what Carolina gave up to get Bryce Young. Right. But they get the receiving end of that. You see what I'm saying? And they still get, either they just keep Justin Fields, and what if then they use one of their top 10 picks, because they'll have 2 then, because they'll just move down a couple of spots or a few spots. And what if they get Marvin Harrison to pair with DJ Moore, and then you got Justin Fields there? I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Would you hate that?
No, I definitely would not hate it. I don't think I would like it as much as, say, like Arizona, where he's the clear number 1 receiver with Kyler Murray, because number 1, I still feel better about Kyler Murray as a passer than Justin Fields. And number 2, DJ Moore, as much as we like Michael Wilson, DJ Moore is already a stud real-life wide receiver who's going to demand targets. Whereas in Arizona, you could see Marvin Harrison in Arizona having 140 to 150 targets year 1. Because, right, what is Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Rondell Moore, come on. You know what I mean? He's head and shoulders above those guys. So,
yeah, if he goes to Arizona, that's the most obvious and probably the best spot of all those top 10 teams. Yeah, I don't know if he'll go second round. I think maybe late second in some drafts, but maybe 3rd round. If he goes to another team, maybe later 3rd. It really depends.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll give shout out to some of our Mary Joes in the house.
What's up?
Bills. Going Lions Bills.
All right.
Do I remember? Is she a Lions fan? I think she is.
I don't remember. Do not remember.
Harrison of the Colts.
I mean, I don't know if I see the Colts. Where are they even picking? They got the 15th pick. I mean, I would be shocked if he was still on the board at 15.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think wide receiver is really their need. Remember, they've got Pittman, assuming they sign him or franchise tag him. And Pittman's already said like he'd be fine playing on the franchise tag. They just drafted Josh Downs last year. They used a relatively early pick on Josh Downs, a day 2 pick on him. So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see him. Plus, I don't see like Harrison falling to 15. That'd be crazy.
No, he's like a generational wide receiver prospect. I definitely don't see him falling outside the top 10. All right. Apologies. Seahawks. That was Mary Jo's.
That's
Seahawks.
right.
I was thinking
That's right.
similar color, the silver, grayish, and blue. All right. Last one, JR. King Henry gets signed somewhere. I mean, this really depends on where he goes, right?
Yeah, this 100% depends on where he goes. Like if he goes to Dallas and they let Pollard walk, I'd probably be interested. I wouldn't go crazy. Like people would go lose their minds. Like, oh my gosh! But I still worry that like, A, it's a pass first offense, and B, how much does Henry still have left in the tank? But it would certainly make me interested in him. But if he goes like, I don't know where. I mean, I don't even know where else. Like, where could he go? Like, if he signs Miami, okay. If he goes to Miami, I mean, how good are we really feeling about him? Like, you got Raheem Mostert still there. You got Achane there. Like, I don't know. Like, he'd be okay.
Somebody did see it today on Twitter. Somebody, not me, photoshopped Derrick Henry in a Dolphins uniform. Like I'm, as a Dolphin, I'm 1,000% in on that. Now for fantasy, yeah, it limits him for sure because it's going to be Achane and him and Mostert, I guess, still there. So he would be like an RB3,
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think Dallas is the most likely intriguing spot, like the spot that actually makes sense. If Dallas is like, okay, we were not a good running team last year. Remember, they franchise tagged Tony Pollard, so they're not committed to him this year at all, right? They could just be like, see you later. If they go sign Derrick Henry, thinking like that's going to boost their running game, that makes the most sense. We know he'll get the carries. We know he'll have touchdown upside. But again, it is a pass-first offense, and I do wonder how much Derrick Henry has left in the tank. But I think he would at least be like a high-end RB2 in Dallas.
It might make sense. Vikings might have an opening for Derrick Henry.
Vikings too, although they did for whatever reason sign Madison to that deal, but it's not a huge contract. I mean, they could easily bench Madison and not feel it. So, and he wasn't very good. Vikings definitely make sense. Again, though, same kind of thing here is it's a pass-heavy offense. People would lose their minds, right? Oh, Derrick Henry in Minnesota. Oh my gosh. But it's like, it's a pass-heavy offense. It's not an offense that runs the ball a ton. Not a great. Ever since Kevin O'Connell came in, it's not the offense you want to target the running backs in, but he'd still have touchdown upside. He'd have potential. Again, probably like a mid to high-end RB2. That's how I would look at him.
I will say one last thing is, the Chargers are looking for a coach. Mike Vrabel didn't get the Patriots job like he wanted. Didn't they interview him, or they're going to interview him? I swear they did, right?
Yeah, that's true. Chargers make some good sense for Henry.
Vrabel going to the Chargers, bring his guy back, and Eckler might not be there.
That's right. Eckler not under contract. That would be another spot where I would view Henry as like, okay, a high-end RB2 because of the touchdown potential in the offense.
There you go. Henry to the Chargers. Book it.
Although they did have one of the worst run-blocking offensive lines last year, so they'd have to improve that too. Because Henry's not Henry at this point of his career, we've seen he's not the guy who can like
breakaway.
Yeah, or like over, back at, during his prime, it didn't matter. Terrible offensive line, it didn't matter because he would break the first 2 or 3 tackles anyways. He's not really that guy anymore, but he's still, he's still good enough. So, yeah.
But I would like that spot. And then here's the thing with Chargers, they don't need a quarterback, and they just drafted a wide receiver, maybe the wrong one, but they're not going to draft a wide receiver early. I think the draft capital that they do have, they probably will and should invest in offensive line. So it should improve them because that's really what they need. They need offensive linemen and then defense, basically like everything on defense.
Yeah.
So, all right, y'all.
Should be a fun free agency. There's a lot of big names out there this year in free agency.
There you go. And we'll be here to cover it. We're going to put out some reactions and do more drafts. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Check out the Gauntlet if you haven't already. And good luck this weekend. And whatever you got, you're doing the pick'ems, you're doing the drafts, or you're just enjoying football. Hopefully your team, whatever your team is, wins. And don't forget all the videos that are coming your way. We're still here all off season long. Get you ready for next year. All right. I'll see y'all next time.